So here are the items I recommend for pet food and water during an emergency. And of course, also for travel and just daily life with your pet. All right, so a collapsible bowl is something that I have in all my kits. It's for drinking, it's also for food, but during an emergency, I wouldn't recommend you use this for water. And here's why. During an emergency, water is going to be a precious commodity. You can't afford to waste it. These are not as efficient as one of these smart water bottles with the backflow. In other words, the water is only for your dog. You don't share it with the dog after the dog's mouth has touched it, but instead of the water being dumped out that isn't being used by the dog at that time, it flows back into the bottle. So there's never any water wasted. What I see people, and I'll show you in a moment, is they feed them with their hand, that introduces bacteria. They let their dog lick their water bottle, that introduces bacteria to you. So the water dispenser with the backflow, like this in the picture, is really something that you should consider for your dog, for your dog's kit. So you're never wasting water, which of course is critical in an emergency, but important for normal times. So you don't have to take any more water than you need. So here's some of the problems that I see people, wasting water with when they're giving water to their dog. They feed the water to their dog using the hand bowl method that introduces your hand's bacteria into the dog. You let the dog lick your water bottle, or you share a bowl with them. Terrible ideas, and there's a better way to do it, and that is with the smart bottle that allows the water to flow back into the bottle. So you're saving water, you're reducing the likelihood the dog gets sick, and you're reducing the likelihood that you get sick. And then dehydrated pet food. Oops, sorry about that, the image didn't show up there, but what that looks like is one of these Primal Nuggets. And these things are great because they last significantly longer than the pet food that's already opened. Of course, you can keep it already sealed, and then you can add water if you need to. You don't have to. It's recommended that you do, but if you don't have access to water, you can just open it up, give him a treat. What do you think, Ned? You want a piece? Right now he's hanging out with the fan. Come here, Ned. And he's not hungry. Make me open the package just for nothing. But what these are individual, it's not freeze-dried. Yeah, it is. It is freeze-dried nuggets. And you just carry as many as you need rather than cans of food, which are extremely heavy for the volume. You're carrying on unnecessary extra liquid. This, you just rehydrate when you have access to water, put them in the dog bowl, and they eat it. But they can eat it dry or wet, and it becomes lighter as they eat more of it versus carrying the cans and then trying to do something with the can that you've already opened. That's going to spoil quite quickly. If it's canned dog food, you have to get it to refrigeration, which is probably not going to be practical. So these can stay shelf stable for significantly longer than anything else can. These are rated for beyond 2 years, especially if unopened. But what you can do is put them in a vacuum sealed package with an oxygen absorber. I spoke to the company that makes this, Primal Foods, and they said that oxygen is the primary culprit in why these spoil. So if you keep it in like a Mylar bag, a vacuum sealed bag with an oxygen absorber, these could last 5 years or more. And that's something that you need to consider, because if it's an emergency kit, you're probably not going to be using it often, but when you need it, you really need it, and you don't want that food to be spoiled. Okay, treats, especially calming treats. So always carry some treats to incentivize your dog to obey, to be calm. And if you get some of these hemp treats, then you can calm your dog, which is not just important for the dog, but important for you and everybody else in your party. So your dog isn't adding to the anxiety that you already are experiencing. So even though I just said it's a waste to use this for water, this isn't an emergency. I have plenty of water. I can just go back and fill this up again. So I'm going to give him some water now, and you can see how that collapsible bowl works. Ned, come here. Let's see if he's thirsty. Drink some water, bud. There you go. Okay. It's good water. All right, so dual use food, why is that? Fewer individual items to carry. So if you can carry items that both you and your dog can safely eat, then it's really more efficient to carry. So also it reduces the possibility that maybe you brought food for yourself but not for your dog, or vice versa. One thing you might want to consider is whether it requires a can opener or not. This is always going to be easier. And then this also can function as, an impromptu bowl for your dog. You scoop out half for yourself, give half to your dog. I think it's pretty self-explanatory how this would work, but if you do carry cans like this, make sure you have a can opener. And one option is to carry a mini can opener like this. Now, like that, and that's how you'd open it. But of course, it's always going to be easier to bring something that doesn't require a can. Oh, Ned's a good boy. So it's always gonna be easier to carry something that doesn't require a can. And some of these pink salmon and olive oil, those are safe for most dogs. Check with your vet, of course. And then some of the seed butters or the nut butters. Now, be careful. Not all nuts or seeds are safe for your dogs. Keep them away from macadamia nuts. Some vets say almonds are not safe, but almost all of them say peanut butter is safe. So this is something that you can share with your pet. If it's peanut butter, keep it in the pack. You get hungry, obviously you could have some as well. But one of these would work great. Very lightweight package of salmon and olive oil for you and or your pet.